Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a long video. I hope you have time. It's Saturday. Maybe you have a little bit more time than during the week. So I hope you stay all the way to the end of this video with me because I have prepared for you a lot of material. I hope this video will bring you some value, the content that I provide. And before you go, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and leave the comments down below to share your thoughts with all of us. Yesterday, I decided to put out a video in which I was discussing the drone situation in more detail and just saying like it is on Locals and Patreon. And why I did that? Well, because to speak the truth is not something they want us to do, and quite a number of content creators had been in not comfortable situations, let's put this way, and I didn't want to be part of that energy. So I decided to put that video in Patreon, on Patreon and Locals. If you're interested, you're welcome to go there and watch it. Now, today, I will be bringing this topic to you in a way that is presented, that you know exactly what I'm talking about, without me saying it. I will also tell you why I don't trust Polish president anymore, and the Polish First Lady as well, the First Lady of Poland as well. I will present to you an article about why Poland is going to buy the anti-drone systems from Israel, and I think also from Germany, even though this article is not talking about it, instead of using apparently excellent anti-drone system produced in Poland. I will also tell you if Poland is going to send troops to Ukraine, even though the Polish president, Karol Nawrocki, said absolutely not. And is the 800 plus, the social support for the Ukrainians in Poland, going to be vetoed and going to come into existence or not? Or if it does, what is required for it to be effective? We will start this video with a farmer, a Polish farmer, whose knowledge and common sense is definitely on the much higher scale and level than many of those Polish so-called generals. Let me not go there into those, because this man who I'm going to show you, present to you in a second, is maybe a simple man from the countryside in Poland. But his common sense, intelligence, and actually knowledge is pretty impressive. So we're going to listen to him. He's going to describe to the point the drone, one of those drones that ended up on his land, or land that he owns, and he's going to describe it in details, as well as what he thinks as far as where this drone came from and who to blame for it. And the second part of this video is a part that is still very important for me, and I think should be for everyone in the world right now, the story of Charlie Kirk. I will go into it as far as presenting to you the post from his wife. She just spoken out, and I will show you that. And I will play a video from someone who is an expert of humans' behavior. And this man really presented an excellent point. So this is the second part of this video. I hope you stay all the way to the end with me. Let's start with the Polish farmer, everyone, because can I just say, even though I put out details yesterday in my video, this man, he said it in a way like no general has described it. Every person could understand it. I decided to translate this video using the AI, so I chose that option. It's not perfect translation, but I'm sure you're going to understand what he's talking about. So, and then we're going to read the comments from the Polish viewer, what they think about that situation, because, you know, you should not talk about it where it came from. Polish government and Polish president already decided where the drone came from. Let's listen to the farmer who is absolutely not stupid.
Mr. Krzysztof, we're in Wakin, the one town where one of the most likely Russian drones was found, and you were the one who found it. And how did that even happen? Were there any signals beforehand? Did you hear anything at night? I didn't
hear anything. I got up at 4 a.m. I had to make some food. Secondly, I knew absolutely nothing. At 8:30 a.m., a neighbor called me and said a plane had crashed in my field. Damn, at 7 a.m., I saw an alert on my phone, didn't I? When he called me, I didn't run to the spot, I just dialed 112, right? And I reported it. A minute later, the guy was very professional. He called me back from a private number to confirm if it was true. I said, sure, yes, but I thought, what a stupid mistake. If there's nothing, I'll go to the field and see what's there. And it was crashed. It wasn't lying upside down. I mean upside down, right? Because it didn't have wheels.
And what exactly did this drone look like? Do you know how it was constructed? Did it have any distinguishing features? What did it look like? The distinguishing features were 1930s technology, because I'm into motorcycles and I know what I'm talking about. An air-cooled boxer engine. A 1930s design, not based on that. A propeller, wings, a span of 1.5 meters, somewhere white. There were some inscriptions, right? I think it ran out of power because it had a spark ignition, right? From what I observed, the fuel tank was like a plastic bag, normal gasoline, some red color. I just don't know if it was a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke, right? A terribly small engine, the size of a hairdryer, only a 2-cylinder. And what were the actions of the authorities from the moment you notified them? What happened here from the moment you notified the authorities? Within 10 minutes, the first police car arrived, and the guys immediately started securing the area. Later, I think half the police, military police, and the prosecutor's office arrived. The district head also showed up. The guard wasn't there to secure the area, was it? To keep everything intact. My friend, Pavel, and I watched it, but we didn't touch anything. It looked like a primitive operation, not even carrying any explosives, unless the explosives got lost somewhere along the way or something. And what was the information flow like for the residents here? You said you received an alert, but did you receive any other information, any warnings? Did you, as residents of Wakin, receive any other information later, after the official announcement that this object was located here? What was it like? We received information from the district head on the spot, not from the district head, but not personally. There were no additional alerts. Only Pavel said he heard something around 8 a.m., something. He just thought it was the fans in his pigsty, right? That's why he didn't bother. He heard a whirring sound, something, and he dismissed it. But after a few minutes, someone saw something. His wife, his son, his daughter, I don't know. They took binoculars and started looking. They said it had wings or something, and he called me. I immediately notified the authorities, didn't I? Because we're about 50 kilometers from the Belarusian border. Was it after this incident? Because it's just one of many. At this point, we have 11 such drone fragments already found. Have you become more concerned, and how do you personally approach this? Or do we have a threat here from the east? There's always a threat, but I'd leave this matter for now for investigation, until a full explanation of whose drones these are and who launched them. I would not take similar steps towards other countries.
All right, so first and foremost, I will leave this for the investigation. I will not say what country did it, right? And the description of the drone was just top-notch. So I was watching this again because this is, I think, like the third time I was watching this video since I was preparing it for you. And you know what came to my mind? That God works in mysterious way. What are the chances that one of those drones will end up on a land of someone who is actually quite knowledgeable, and he will be interviewed and he will share his knowledge with not just Polish people, but the rest of the world, those who are interested in it. Isn't it brilliant? I think it is. So now let's look at the comments from the Polish viewers under this interview. Not too many, but I will read few. Someone says, respect to this man. City people often think that only people without ambition, knowledge, and those who are afraid of the wider world live in the countryside. But in my opinion, this guy has better knowledge than many journalists commenting on the rate of those unfortunate drones. Bravo, I'm impressed. The next one. Just few. Wow. You really impressed me. Knowledge, presence of mind, overall a great guy. Thank you, sir. I'm thrilled. And this one here. This guy speaks better than the government's press spokesman. So this is what Polish people think, but I will be showing you more what Polish people think, since now we are going to go to President of Poland, Karol Nawrocki, who since about 2 days now I question big time. So let's look into first this. This is the National Security Council that was called, and I actually attached this video yesterday in my video that is on Locals and Patreon. And here he was saying few words. Well, he was saying a lot of words, but few words that absolutely made me be on complete other side of trusting him. I don't trust him anymore, unless, like I said, this is someone who is playing a game and playing his part. I'm not going to play this video. I will attach the link down below, because what he said here, he in a way repeated on his Instagram. And what is that? Let me take you there. Let's look into it. One moment, I have two Instagrams open. This one. So here is the official Instagram of President of Poland. And what he said here, what was put out here, exactly what he said during that National Security Council. This is the meeting with Polish pilots. I don't remember exactly what place in Poland, doesn't matter. Meeting was just shortly after the drone situation. And he says this: the Russian provocation was nothing more than an attempt to test our abilities and reactions. It was an attempt to test the mechanism of operation within NATO and our ability to react. Thanks to the great Polish pilots and our allies, Poland, which is in NATO, will not be afraid or intimidated by Russian drones. Thank you, guys. And why I decided to show you this is because, of course, there are some people who are, absolutely believing this, but many are not. And I'm just going to read you a few of those. This one says, may you veto the aid for Ukraine bill, like someone is praying here. Let me see if I can scroll down. Yes, fantastic. Okay, this one here says this. And exactly, people are not stupid. I hope you read the comments and see that the Poles are not morons. Fortunately, you are not either, and I am just waiting for you to start saying how it is loud and clear. I'm waiting for you to start saying how it is loud and clear. The next one here. Well, Mr. President, and such was the hope in the Lord. Polish hearts rejoiced for a moment when you so proudly stepped into the role of our president. You promised us what is most important to us now. We are not sending our soldiers to Ukraine. We do not fund Ukraine. Poland's safety above all. Lord, please don't spoil it. May God save this country. Next one here. This is good too. One moment. Mr. Nawrocki, you quoted the Bible during the inauguration. It obligates. I have to translate because it's a little off. Only fear God, not man. We are waiting for truth. We are waiting. This is good comment. So, watching how he was reacting to all of this, what he was saying, and for the first time, I think ever, fully aligned with the Prime Minister Donald Tusk and Polish government, I am at this moment, no thank you. And with me, it's like this, you know, it was going well so far, but then just like poof, the charm and the trust is gone. And if you lose trust, and in this case, he lost my trust, I don't think he's gonna gain my trust back. Unless, like I said, there is some very crazy game and he's playing the part of this movie, of this script, whatever it is. Now let's go to his wife, and then we're gonna analyze the business with drones with Israel. So let's go to his wife, the first lady. Let's take a look at this video. Here we go again, everyone. The translation is in a big letters in English, so please don't be lazy and read it 1 minute long. That's it.
Szanowna pierwsza dama Ukrainy, szanowni uczestnicy szczytu, to nieskrywany zaszczyt być dziś tu z Państwem po raz pierwszy w roli pierwszej damy Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej. Dziękuję za zaproszenie do tego ważnego formatu, gdy małżonki i małżonkowie głów państw wyrażają solidarność z walczącą Ukrainą. Serdecznie pozdrawiam Państwa z Warszawy, z polskiej stolicy, miejsca, które jak wiele polskich miast i miasteczek od ponad 3 lat jest schronieniem dla Ukraińców uciekających przed wojną, azylem. Gdy trzeba było, my Polacy stanęliśmy na wysokości zadania. Zachowaliśmy się jak trzeba. Otworzyliśmy swoje domy i swoje serca. Także polskie szkoły stały się miejscem ważnym dla ukraińskich dzieci. To tu zawierają nowe przyjaźnie, mogą czuć się bezpiecznie, mogą zapomnieć o piekle wojny zgotowanej przez Putina. Zapewniam, że otaczamy je troską. Ta okrutna, niczym niesprowokowana rosyjska agresja i inne konflikty zbrojne na świecie przypominają, że wychowanie i edukacja, w tym edukacja dla pokoju, mają kluczowe znaczenie. Sama jestem mamą 3 wspaniałych dzieci. Dobrze wiem, że wartości i wizje świata przekazywane w domu rodzinnym oraz w szkole najmocniej wpływają na rozwój młodego człowieka, a ostatecznie na kształt całych państw i społeczeństw. Tylko nazywając wprost ofiary ofiarami, a oprawców oprawcami, możemy nauczyć nasze dzieci wrażliwości na nieuczciwość, krzywdę i przemoc. Mam nadzieję, że nasza współpraca będzie nadal się pogłębiać i przyniesie jeszcze wiele dobrego. My, Polacy, głęboko wierzymy w to, że Ukraina już niedługo będzie wolna i nastanie wyczekiwany pokój.
So here is my question. Does she know what the First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, is involved into? Does she know about her foundation that allegedly takes care of the orphans? Where do they go? Who takes care of them? Does she know about human trafficking in Ukraine? Does she know it? That's my question. So, you know, we have to look at all of those people. It doesn't matter what position they hold at this moment, present tense. They are one of us, okay? And I'm saying in a way, they are not better than any one of the citizens who live in the country. That's how we have to look at it. And how he started his presidency, that was my impression. But we see, at this moment, I think I've seen already enough, and I'm not buying this. So now let's go to, let's not worry because it's all gonna crumble anyway. So let's go to the business. Let's follow the money because at the end of the day, it's all about it, isn't it? Money, power, and energy. So let's look into it. What's up with those drones? So why does the border guard of Poland buy anti-drone systems from Israel instead of Polish? This is from the 9th of September. So this is just, I think, the day before this situation. At best, it is incompetence. At worst, a deliberate action to detriment, I don't know if I pronounced it the right way, of the Polish manufacturer, said Michał Dworczyk, commenting on the policy of the Ministry of Defense towards anti-drone systems and the purchase of drones. So let's read this quickly. This is short. Air defense is a very complicated system that cannot be bought overnight, even with a mountain of money sprinkled with gold and diamonds. Such systems are built over years, said Michał Dworczyk, Law and Justice MP, former Deputy Minister of Defense and representative of the Program Council of the Eastern Flank Institute, in an interview with Radio Wnet. He added that Poland is not prepared for effective air defense and will not be for a long time. This is highlighted so clearly we understand. Dworczyk also reminded that the construction of multi-layered air defense began during the times of Antoni Macierewicz and Mariusz Błaszczak. So he's talking like, I don't know, about 10 years ago or something. The current coalition pays too little attention to this, and some decisions even weaken Polish security, he stressed. He also drew attention to the problem with the state's purchasing policy in the field of anti-drone systems, as he emphasized, in his opinion, the tender and the border guard was organized in such a way that it promoted one specific solution of the Israeli company. So they set up the whole system in a way that just the Israeli stuff is the best. I have nothing against the presence of companies from Germany or Israel on our market, but above all, I wish the best to Polish companies. So here is about Polish. Dworczyk noted that Poland has a unique anti-drone solution from APs, which is unique in the world, proven and widely used in Ukraine. Quoting him now, the only effective anti-drone system in the Polish army is a solution from the Polish company APS. However, it has not been modified for years, despite the fact that the battlefield is changing rapidly. Despite the company's proposals, the Ministry of National Defense did not decide to modernize these systems, which is an absolutely common mode of operation, and some attempts were made to purchase German anti-drone systems. So, in a nutshell, instead of spending probably much less money on the Polish product that is already in existence, just requires an upgrade to the higher standards that are constantly rising and changing. No, we're gonna buy from Israel and we're gonna buy from Germany, and of course those two countries, yes, but another part of it, is corruption. It's just corruption, and it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. I am not military expert, but you don't need to be an expert when you read stuff like this and you see it. So, oh, we have drone situation. Oh my God. So what is really behind this story? Maybe it's just the business venture. Now let's look at another article. This article is about, as you can see, I'm like fired up with this BS today because I can't take this anymore. Breathe. Okay, let's see. About Polish troops going to Ukraine. As he promised, they are not absolutely going to Ukraine. Let's read this. Will Poland send soldiers to Ukraine for training? Training. Where? On the battlefield? The Ministry of Defense speaks out. This is from today, everyone. On Thursday, September 12, Reuters, citing sources close to the matter, reported that Polish military personnel will go to Ukraine for training and shooting down drones. Fantastic. So people are dying and they will be there like training, shooting down drones. On the same day, the Ministry of National Defense announced on Platform X that advanced Advanced talks are currently underway between specialists of both countries regarding in-depth cooperation in the field of drone and anti-drone system. All these activities are to take place in Poland. So where are they going? In Poland or in Ukraine? So here is the official announcement from the Ministry of Defense of Poland. Maybe this should be called the Ministry of War, right? Don't you think? Like the Department of Defense in US is the Department of War. This should be the Ministry of War. Ladies and gentlemen, in connection with questions about the location of planned drone training and cooperation between experts from Polish and Ukraine, we would like to inform you that advanced talks are currently underway between specialists of both countries regarding in-depth cooperation in the field of drone and anti-drone systems. All activities are to take place in Poland. So if they are talking to those experts from Ukraine, maybe they should get some knowledge, you know, and as far as like how they use the engine that is of a size of the hair dryer, and they use the styropian or whatever, and they put this together, and then the farmer, who is brilliant, yeah, just breaks it down into details. There should be the book like Drones for the Dummies, don't you think? Drones for the Dummies. Maybe I should title this video like this. It just came to me. Drones for the Dummies. So guys, what I have for you next. Oh yeah, about the support for Ukrainians. Let's go into this, because as you remember, Polish president, who in that time I used to like, Karol Nawrocki, he vetoed the social support, 800 plus. And he conditioned that support to be given to those Ukrainians, those refugees in Poland who are working, not those who are just existing here. So how does it look like in reality? Well, it went to the Polish parliament, and it looks like they kind of signed it, but of course there is a big but. And what is this but about? So the name for Polish parliament is the same, decided on 800 plus, this is the amount of money, so 800 Polish zloty, 800 plus for Ukrainian citizens, but here are the costs of the law for the state. So let's read this. And by the way, can I just say, before I read this, they always, to play on your psyche, everyone, businessinsider.pl, to play on your psyche, they have to put this. To create, oh my God, look, children, how can we take away, yeah, mental, right? Psychological, mental, emotional manipulation. So the mind control. Are we buying this? Do you, what we feeling? What we feeling? This is the point. You have to put it out, so you have to feel it. In order for a foreigner, including a Ukrainian citizen, to be able to receive 800 plus, he or she will have to meet 3 key conditions. Okay. As a rule, he must be professionally active, so he has to work, earn at least 50% of the minimum wage, and have children in a Polish school. So those are 3 rules. This was the decision of the Sejm after a stormy dispute about taking away the benefit from non-working Poles. However, should be Ukrainians, right? A mistake. However, it turns out that in order for the social insurance institutions and the border guard to verify whether foreigners meet all the conditions, it is first necessary to spend 30 million Polish zloty on adopting IT systems. So in a nutshell, before those 3 criteria, they have to be verified. So before this will be in a real life existence, okay, they have to install the IT system that will cost, let me think how much in US dollars. I would say around 6 million, something like that, 6 million US dollars for the IT system that will be able to verify if they are meeting those 3 criteria. So what a story, everyone, right? Now, how long it will take, who will provide the IT systems, yada, 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 yada. Okay, now let me take you to the second part of this video. And this is going back to Charlie Kirk story. This entire situation is very, very suspicious and very strange to me. I am questioning literally everything at this moment. But there are a few things that I want to take very seriously. I take it seriously, but I want to take very seriously the feelings of his wife and his children. I want to focus on her post for a moment. And then I will take you to a video that was put out by someone who is really, really interesting person, who is an expert in behavior of people. I watch many videos with him, and the way how he reads people, it's pretty cool. And I think we will all benefit from listening to this video, because that's what they want us to do. They want us to be divided, and they want us to take sides, and they want us to point at the person who is guilty. And can I just say, whoever they are claiming is the person who committed that, I'm not believing it. Not even, I don't believe it. I don't think that person who they are presenting is the person who actually did it. All right? So now let's go to his wife. First, I will read this, and then I will turn on the sound. This is the post that she put out on her Instagram. As you know, she went to pick up the body of her husband, Charlie, with Vice President J.D. Vance and J.D. Vance's wife in Arizona. This was, I think, from Utah. Yeah, from Utah to, sorry, not this one. From Utah to Arizona. One second. Sorry, I got sidetracked with the wrong Instagram. Okay, so she went to Utah with J.D. Vance and his wife to pick up Charlie's body. And this is the first time I think she has spoken after this this incident. So I'm gonna read you this first, then I will mute myself, and there is a sound. We're gonna listen to the sound. The world is evil. This is from Erica, his wife. But our Savior, our Lord, our God, He is so good. I will never have the words, ever. The sound of this widow weeping echoes throughout this world like a battle cry. I have no idea what any of this means. But baby, I know, you do, and so does our Lord. They have no idea what they have just ignited within this wife. If they thought my husband's mission was big, now you have no idea. You, all of you, will never, ever forget my husband. I will make sure of it. Rest in the arms of our Lord, baby, as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strived to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. So let me play. There are a few clips here, and I want to play this for you. This is very moving, very touching. And I want to acknowledge this woman in her suffering. And I know she feels love of people, but let me just play it for you.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I know. I love you. So much. I love you. I love you. God bless you. Oh, I love you.
There was one more image that was circulating on social media yesterday, and that was Erica inside the car, looking out through the window and holding necklace with a cross. I think probably many of you, just like myself, are asking ourselves, what is this all about? Why? What's the story behind it? Why are they doing this? Whoever they are, what is the reason? What is the purpose? What's the true story? What's going on? Like I said, I'm not buying this news that whoever they caught is the person responsible. I'm not. But what I know that whatever this man is gonna tell you now in a second is absolutely the reality now, and that's what millions of people, not just in the United States, this is around the world, but he's talking specifically about the US, since he is from there, he lives there. This is what they want us to experience, and that's how they use one of the still strongest tools, even though it's getting weaker and weaker, the media, to infiltrate, to get into your head, and to play with your psyche, your emotional state, and to program you like a cyborg that they ultimately want you to become. So let me play this video, maybe not entire video, but a big part of it, because what he is addressing here is something that I really, really hope humans are going to see through this and not fall under this manipulation. So let's take a look, let's take a listen, and let's really take it very seriously what he's talking about.
Charlie Kirk is dead, and it exposed something vile and horrifying that I want to share with you right now, just kind of candidly. He was murdered while he's speaking in public to a group of college kids. And there's one part of this that I think should horrify you to the deepest parts of your very soul. Instead of a universal outrage, instead of every decent person saying this is insane and this is wrong, the internet seemingly lit up with these celebrations and cheers and memes, and people actually laughing and celebrating the murder of a man because he wore a different political jersey. So let that sink in for a second. And I don't think any of this is about Charlie Kirk, the person. And I don't think it's about whether you liked him or hated him or didn't even care. I think it's about the fact that political murder is somehow just another headline nowadays. And we scroll right past it. There is a whole new low for where we could go. And you have people online cheering like it's their team winning a Super Bowl. And what you're seeing is an evil, evil mask slipping. This is a signal. And it's a signal that we, and I do mean we all, crossed into something that is a lot darker than just politics. This right here, what we're seeing, is what happens when violence becomes part of a political conversation. When actual TV networks air over and over clips that encourage people to see the other side, not as neighbors that we might disagree with, but as enemies that need to be destroyed, as the threat to society. And you've seen it, I have no doubt. We all have seen this. People in the media saying these people are a threat, these people are dangerous, maybe some violence is justified, and it's not fringe anymore. This is mainstream. And there are thousands of these clips out there aired to millions of people, kind of nudging, suggesting, maybe planting seeds that maybe a fist, maybe a bullet is a legitimate form of political debate.
You resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck.
Biggest terror threat in this country.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
A lot of people don't have the attention span to maybe stick with this, but I pray that you do, because I'm going to expose something here that's going to change everything for you if you stick around. But here's the irony. And what I think is a absolute concrete law of history. It's concrete law. The minute that your ideas require violence to enforce or spread, they are already completely bankrupt. Every tyrant, every failed ideology, every social collapse starts the exact same way. The debate dies, then violence takes the place of debate. And you can't argue with a gun. You can only kill with it. And when killing is the substitute for a conversation, society as a whole starts falling off a cliff. And we all, myself included, we all have been sold the biggest con of our entire life. And this is that the problem is left versus right, or Republicans versus Democrats. And that is the distraction fireworks show that they want us screaming about while they're doing something else. And this is a magician's trick. And I'm about to really show you what Charlie, God rest his soul, has kind of exposed here. If you turned on cable news today, you go in your living room, turn it on, maybe you scroll social media, what are you gonna see? The absolute fringe. They're gonna show you the loudest, dumbest, most cartoonish people from the other side blasted in your face 24/7. You're not being shown your neighbor or your coworker or the mom next door who votes differently. You're being shown a bunch of professional lunatics that are handpicked to make you think one thing. And the one big thing that they want you to think is, oh my God, these people are insane. They are the enemy. That's the reason that we're going downhill. And none of this is an accident. This is word for word textbook psychological operations. And military PSYOPs manuals literally describe how you isolate a target audience, then you pump them full of a bunch of outrage, you create a tribal us versus them identity. This is straight out of a PSYOPs textbook. So why would we want to do this? Or why would PSYOPs want to do this? Because once you're locked into tribal thinking, you're going to swallow anything. You're going to believe any lie about the other side. You're going to cheer when other people suffer. You'll excuse things that you would never excuse in your own neighborhood if you watched it right in front of you and it was one of your neighbors. This is exactly the playbook on how you get otherwise decent, kind people laughing at a murder on the internet. That is how you radicalize a country without firing a shot. And let me tell you something that you're not supposed to think about right now. You share more in common. You share more with somebody across the aisle than with a billionaire donor or some media executive pretending to speak for you. I don't think they want you to see that. They need you divided. They have to have you blind and full of rage, because a united, sane, connected public is the one thing that they actually fear. So how does a normal person, just a regular person, a guy who loves his kids, pays his bills, maybe argues politics at Thanksgiving, how does he turn into somebody who cheers at the assassination of a political opponent on the internet? This does not happen overnight. It is a formula, and I'm going to lay it out for you very plain right here. Number one is isolation. And this is where you don't just disagree with people anymore. You're told not even to interact with them. You don't have friends on the other side. Don't date them. Don't work with those people. You need to cut them out of your life. That is step one. And if you're paying attention, that's also step one of joining a cult. So step two is echo chambers. You surround yourself only with opinions that sound just like yours. Social media makes damn sure of this. And algorithms serve you more of what already pisses you off. And this has been proven and documented in research. So that rage gets recycled and concentrated like moonshine, like a moonshine still. And if you haven't caught on yet, this is step two of building a cult, a dangerous cult. So step three here is the tribal script. This is the us versus them narrative. Your side is righteous, their side is evil. Every single issue is framed like a holy war. And it doesn't matter if it's taxes or healthcare, it's suddenly life or death, and it's good versus evil. And if you add outrage and righteous superiority, and our brain chemistry starts going bonkers, crazy, that cocktail makes people feel morally justified in hating and silencing and celebrating violence. That is true radicalization. That's how you turn regular people into basically a sleeper agent without them even knowing. The bad news is that what I just said is only the beginning, and it's happening on both sides of the imaginary aisle. Here's the truly horrifying part. All of this, it's not just a result of some advertising and algorithms. This is deliberate, and I would stake my reputation on it. This is not just some accidental byproduct of politics. This, what we're seeing right here, is engineered step by step to keep you outraged and blind and keep you just kind of stabbing and punching at shadows. All the while, this real power, the people who profit from division, stay completely untouchable. So keep this in mind while we're talking. You have more in common with someone who voted different than you did than the people that you see parading their narratives on TV. Please keep that in mind forever, if you're able to. An absolutely brutal truth that nobody really wants to face. Assassinations, that especially like we saw with Charlie Kirk, assassinations are not usually about stopping some kind of evil. They're about stopping ideas. You don't kill somebody because their argument was weak. You silence them because you were terrified that their words are working on people. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't murdered because he was irrelevant and he had bad ideas. He was killed because his vision of racial and economic unity and equality was gaining traction in the country. If you look at President Kennedy, JFK, he wasn't taken out because he had no power or had crappy ideas. He was killed right as he started poking holes in this weird, dark system's grip on our war and defense and secrecy. Mr. This guy, Rabin, I think, assassinated in Israel. Nobody did it because he was a joke or because he was a laughingstock. He was killed because he was pushing in Israel for peace, and peace threatened power. Peace threatened power. History is unbelievably clear on this. If debate dies, when open conversation gets replaced with suppression or intimidation and ultimately violence, society walks into a death trap. There is not an exception to this. So the ideas that require censorship or intimidation or blood to survive, they are 100% of the time poison. An idea that can't survive in the sunlight has to live in the shadows. And that is the death spiral that we are in if we don't stop this shit right now. So let's look at the other hand in this magic trick. Remember we talked about there's some misdirection going on here. For decades, the press, the media was supposed to be our watchdog. They're going to find all the facts. They're going to hold the powerful accountable. They're going to keep people informed. And again, you can see this with your own eyes. It's not right versus left. Look closely at the media. It's not right versus left. This is darkness versus light. The media is a circus tent with a lot more in common to a casino. This is a propaganda machine just churning out outrage. Let me just tell you exactly how this works. Facts are boring to people. Outrage is more likely to sell. It's more likely to keep you looking at the screen. That's their metrics. That's what they get paid based off of. So instead of showing you some kind of reality, they're showing you this carefully curated nightmare reel of the absolute worst of the other side. They're not giving you the whole picture. They're giving you the most extreme clips that they can find because they know that you're going to watch. They know that you're going to get pissed off when you see it all, and you're going to come back for more tomorrow. In fact, to me, if I'm very honest, if something doesn't fit their narrative, it is completely ignored. But if a story can be kind of twisted into a blame game, then it is. So they're not showing you reality in any sense. They're showing you a story designed to keep you loyal to your tribe, addicted to whatever their version, twisted horror movie version of reality really is.
I think it was one of the best videos I have been watching lately as far as putting this all together. And of course, I didn't play the entire video. You have the link down below in the description box. I'm gonna email this person and thank him for this video and let him know that I have used big part of his content on my channel, because I think those are very important informations and videos for everyone to watch, to step back, take a moment and really look with your own eyes and wake up from this, I don't know, from this spell that we have been living under. They have created this for us to be controlled. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you appreciate this video. A lot of content in one video. The links, like I said, will be attached down below in the description box. If you appreciate this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and leave the comments down below. Share the video with other people. That also helps. And I would like to say to everyone who chooses to support me on Patreon and Locals, or donate on PayPal, it really means a lot to me, because I am realizing that there are a lot of things I should not talk about directly lately, but I am still doing it. So sometimes you might not see the videos on YouTube, but I will always let you know in the post, in the comments, in the post of my YouTube channel, where to go. But this is the best way to stay on track. So follow me on Locals. You can become my supporter there. Join my Patreon if you can support me. There are different tiers as well. And that's it for today, guys. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, everyone.